Hi everyone, my name is Sebo, and these, if I can grab them there, these are my recorders. As you can see here, we have a first one, which is the soprano recorder, and this was actually given to me by my parents. This is a wooden recorder. I actually have another soprano recorder back at university, but I brought this one home because this one is clearly the superior one, since this is made of wood as opposed to plastic, which my other one is. And generally speaking, the wooden recorders do sound better than the plastic ones. I also have an alto recorder, which is, as one would expect, lower than the soprano recorder. Also is slightly larger. And I also have the tenor recorder, which is pretty big. Totally makes me glad I have big hands. Otherwise it would hurt other people, I would imagine. It is an octave lower than the soprano one. So yeah. Or is it two? No, it's one. One octave lower. So there we go. Those are my recorders. I actually, the reason why I even have these is because I joined the recorder ensemble at university, and that's a lot of fun. One would imagine that a recorder is like a child's toy. It's like not a serious instrument, which in, I guess, some cases I have to agree. It's not really a difficult instrument to play and pick up and learn. But the difficult thing I find with recorders is to keep your airflow steady. Otherwise, your tone will fluctuate a lot and it won't sound good, especially in a recorder ensemble. If you're if you're blowing too much or blowing too little, it can totally screw up the entire ensemble because you won't be matching with the rest of the ensemble, and your audience will be able to hear it. So there I have it. These are my recorders. I like them very, very much. Speaking of the recorders, my friend today from church asked me to actually make a couple pieces on the recorder for her because my friend is the music teacher at a public school. So for, I believe, sometime next year, she's gonna have her grade 4s learn the recorder. Is it grade 3? I don't know, one or the other. Whenever kids start learning recorders nowadays, anyway. And she wanted me to make a couple pieces, or a few pieces, like studies, so to say, for the recorder, keeping it simple, like making like a duet between two recorders. So I've been working on that a little bit. I've been thinking about it and recorded some drafts for myself. And so far it's going on pretty well. It's actually more difficult than one would imagine because you have to keep in mind that these are little kids. These are kids that don't know how to play like super sophisticated things, since more likely than not, the recorder is probably their first instrument they ever played. Otherwise, it would probably be like piano or violin or something if they're Asian, or Russian. I don't know why, but Asians and Russians. Maybe I'm being a little bit too stereotypical right now, but back in my day, all the Asians, it's like almost mandatory to learn piano because or violin. It was a good skill to have. Russians too, but that's neither here nor there. So yeah, it's difficult because you have to. The recorder has such a small range, and you have to keep in mind that the elementary school kids also probably at that point wouldn't learn too many notes. So I had to limit myself to like an octave of space I can work with. Um, and it's a duet too. So it's a little difficult. Also have to keep in mind that they have to breathe, so I can't just make it like a constant stream of notes. There's gonna have to have like breaks, like rests in between. Um, and I'll probably showcase it on my SeboTalks 6th channel when I get some of those done, or all of them done. And they'll be fun. Anyway, Messiah. Right, Messiah, yesterday. When I was going there, actually, thing is, I don't really, like, my sense of direction is terrible. So usually when somebody asks me, like, where this place is, or where so-and-so, how do I reach so-and-so, I usually don't have an answer. I'll be like, I'm sorry, but I don't know where that is or what that is, actually. So I tend to not be helpful when it comes to directions. However, yesterday I felt so accomplished because I... Okay, so I left the subway station, and then I was walking a bit towards the place I had to go for the Messiah concert, and then this Chinese girl came up to me. I was like, 你说不是 I can't speak, I'm sorry. 你说不说中文, which means, my Chinese is terrible. In Mandarin, it means, do you speak Chinese? And I'm like, not really in English, because, well, as I told you guys many times, my Chinese isn't exactly fluent, or, well, I can't even really speak Chinese, as you plainly see, or hear, she asked, but then she proceeded to ask me in English, because, she apparently knew how to speak English, decently. She asked me where the bus station was, and I was like, oh wait, I know where it is, because I just left it, even though it's this subway station. The bus station is like literally right next to it. It's the entire station, there's like a bus station and a subway station, so they're like next to each other. And so I'm like, I know where it is, and I can take you there. And she's like, okay. And then we had this like grand adventure, and I discovered she was from Hamilton and was visiting Toronto, which is where I'm from, visiting Toronto because her friend was there. So that was pretty cool. I felt pretty darn helpful, although now I ran the risk of actually being late for Messiah concert, but I actually got there in the end like 10 minutes before it actually started, so it was all good. The Messiah concert itself, when I walked in, I felt so bad because I was wearing so shoddy. Like, I had my bright white Nike running shoes. I had like jeans and had this like I was wearing this sweater, so it's like bright and blue and everybody could see it. So I'm like, oh, okay, that made a really loud noise, I'm sorry. But it was like, I walked in, everyone I saw was like wearing, I saw no pair of jeans. They were all like dress pants and like fancy black shoes for the guys and like high heels for the girls. It just blew my mind. It was like, wow, you guys dressed so formally, and I'm just like sitting there awkwardly, twiddling my thumbs. But it didn't matter because the lights dimmed in the end, so nobody saw afterwards, which is good. And the actual concert, now, I think I mentioned this several times, but the Messiah concert I went to isn't your standard Messiah concert, where there's like a huge hall and there's like an entire choir and like string orchestra of like four soloists, not that typical kind of way, and like maybe an organ. This particular Messiah, it was called the Dublin Messiah. This particular Messiah was they tried to replicate. This group tried to replicate the original, the debut of Messiah. So they tried to try to reimagine how the original sounded like when it was first introduced, and it was introduced in the way it was a smaller group. So the Messiah nowadays has like huge gigantic choirs and all that, but the original one, there was like a group of maybe 15 people doing the singing, and then like a few strings and whatnot, and like an organist, but it wasn't that much. So they did that, and it was good. It was really, really good. I enjoyed Messiah. I don't think it was the entire Messiah. I believe I didn't mention this already, but I believe the original Messiah or the Messiah as a whole is 4 hours, but this one was only 2 hours, not including intermission. So, yeah, it was interesting. After intermission, the lights actually didn't dim, so for like the entire first half of the second part, it was just like, okay, the lights aren't dimming, so everybody's just like staring awkwardly at each other now, while people are singing up there on the stage. I can see everything, so I'm like, I wonder when they're gonna dim the lights. And then they dim the lights at like such a random point in the second half of the concert. So I'm like, okay, whatever. They finally dimmed the lights, and then it was good. Yeah, so that Messiah was good. Messiah was good. We didn't stand up for the Hallelujah because they didn't do that in the original. The Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. That one. Usually nowadays, what people do, they would stand up when that song appears, because apparently 1 year after it was debuted, I think it was in London, King George II, I believe, stood up during that part of Messiah. And once the king stands up, everybody else has to stand up. And then from that day on, it was like kind of this tradition where every time Messiah is played, when it reaches the Hallelujah part, everybody has to stand up, because why not? But they didn't do that in the original one, so we didn't actually end up standing up because the conductor specifically told us not to, and just sit down and listen. It's like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and listen. So that was a good experience. It was a good concert. I believe it was money well spent. Today was pretty chillax. Went to church in the morning, and then afterwards I went to an eye examination. So yeah, my eyes, they're pretty bad. My prescription is like, my right eye is like 450 and my left eye is 425, I believe. And for astigmatism, I believe it's what it's called, my left eye is 350 and my right eye is 150. So my left eye is pretty darn bad, and my left eye got worse. So probably gonna maybe eventually get new glasses. I don't know. Maybe soon, maybe not. Who knows? In any case, yeah, I had my eye examination. Before, like in the beginning of the examination, you're sat down on this like machine, and then it would occasionally like spurt like bursts of air into your eye, straight into your eye, and it's like, I hate that. I'm just like on my seat going like this. It's like, don't shoot me now, and then it goes like, and I'm like, ah. So it took a lot of effort for me to sit still, and yeah, I hate jump scares, man. They're the worst. They're the worst. But other than that, the rest of my day, pretty calm, pretty uneventful. But hey, I somehow managed to talk for like 16 minutes, so I'm sorry about that. Thank you guys if you're still tuning in after this long. So, yeah, tomorrow's Christmas Eve, so I'll be out in the evening, back to church for the Christmas service, and then on Christmas Day, I'll be going to my cousin's place, and I'll have a glorious time there. It's a kind of family tradition where on Christmas Day I would go to my cousin's place, and we all chill out, eat dinner. I think I already mentioned this actually, because I feel like I'm repeating myself. Then we have this, usually it's like opening present time. I don't know, we didn't do that last year, which made me sad, but don't know, the older you get, the less gifts you get. The older you get, the less gifts you get. Although it's not as bad on Christmas than it is on birthdays. On birthdays, you don't really get as many gifts as you did before. But that's how life works, and you gotta go on with that. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm tired. I also have milk, which I forgot to drink. Tastes kind of funny. But I think it's just me. It might be because I just microwaved it. And I don't generally drink warm milk. The reason why I'm drinking warm milk is because I don't want to risk drinking cold milk to make me cough. Although I am getting better. I am indeed getting better. I think it's, in terms of being sick, I think I'm on the recovery part now. So it's not getting worse, it's getting better, which is good. But I've talked long enough, and I don't want to keep you guys here for too much longer, so thank you for watching. This has been Sebo, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye. Bloop. I totally messed that up. It's bye-bye, not bye-bye. Gotta get my outro right. Let's try it again. This has been Sebo. Laundry's done, so I have to go do that. And I'll talk to you guys again tomorrow. Bye-bye.